Happy New Year, gardening friends. Today is January 1st, 2026, and I'm ready to start seeds for the season. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania in zone 7B. I think I am now in 7B. And though it's January, it's a little bit early to start most of your seeds, but there are some seeds that really need to be started early, and so that's what I'm doing today. There's a couple of things that I'll be starting today. The one thing are onions, so I'll be starting my onions from seeds, and I'll be growing two different types of onions this year. One is called Walla Walla. It's a very large sweet onion. I grow these every year. These are seeds that are left over from last year that I'll be planting. And then I bought a new pack of seeds from Johnny's this year. One thing about onion seeds is that they do not store well from year to year. You'll find that the germination rate will decrease from one year to the next. So I always buy new seeds every year. I did have these left, so I'll still plant them, and whatever germinates, and then I have a fresh pack of seed. And then the other onion seed that I'll germinate, I have a hybrid red seed or red onion that I bought from Johnny's last year, and I don't know what the germination rate will be with these, but whatever I get, that's how many onions I'll have. So these you really want to start at least 10 weeks before you plan to plant them outside. I would say 8 to 10 weeks. So this is the beginning of January. My last frost date is mid-April, which is about 14 weeks away. But I usually try to plant these sometime in March. So January, February, that's about 8 weeks. And if I can plant these by mid-March, that will be 10 weeks. So that's why I'm planting these so early. So those are my onions. And then I'm going to try this flower, which is called Salpiglossis. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is an annual. They're beautiful purple flowers, and I tried to grow these last year without any success. They did not germinate at all. So I decided to try these again. And the one thing that I did not do last year that I'm noticing on the seed pack, I think the seeds that I purchased last year were from Baker Creek, and these are from Botanical Garden. And I noticed on the back of the seed packet, there are special germination instructions, and apparently these seeds really like total darkness in order to germinate. So they're recommending to just lightly press the seeds into the soil surface and then cover with something opaque to completely exclude the light. So I'm going to be planting the seeds in these small seed tray cells. I got these from Epic Gardening, and they're really small cells, and I got these specifically for the next plant that I'm going to share with you, which is the Lisianthus. But I will also plant the Salpiglossis in this tray, and then I will cover each tray with plastic in order to keep the soil moist. And then I will cover the top of this with like an old mouse pad or something, just to block all of the light, so that the Salpiglossis, I'm never going to say that correctly, will be in total darkness. So we'll see how this goes. This will be my second year attempting to grow these, so we'll see what happens. And then the last seed that I'm going to start today will be Lisianthus. This will be my third year growing Lisianthus. The first year the seeds germinated, but they didn't make it. They actually dried out. I really struggled with keeping the soil moist. that first year I used seed starting mix in order to start the seeds, and that really was a struggle for me to keep the soil moist, and eventually all of the seedlings died. Last year, which was my second year, I decided to grow the seeds in just regular potting soil. And I found that that really did help me with the watering, because the potting soil did not dry out as quickly as the seed starting mix. So I had great success, at least I thought it was great success last year in using the potting soil. But I did plant them, all of the seedlings, in just one container. So I just broadcast the seeds in one container. I did not have the ability to water from below. I had to top water, and that really caused problems with disturbing the seedlings. So that's why I bought these little seedling trays. They're small enough for the Lisianthus. Lisianthus grows very slowly, so they don't need a lot of space. And by planting them in a traditional seed tray, this will allow me, you can see there's holes on the bottom, this will allow me to water from underneath, and that way I won't disturb the seedling. So I will be starting two varieties. Actually, it's one variety. It's the Roseanne variety in two different colors. One is called Black Pearl, and then the other one is just a brown. So I'm really excited about these. Can't wait to get these started. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to use regular potting soil to start really all of my seeds. I don't think I'm going to use any seed starting medium this year. I'm just going to use regular potting soil. This potting soil does not have any added fertilizer. It's just straight potting soil. It's my favorite. I've shared this on other videos. This is from Master Nursery. It's called Bumper Crop, Gardener's Gold organic potting soil, and it's all natural ingredients. It does have peat moss in it, compost, perlite, lime. There's some poultry manure, lobster meal, and kelp meal, which I guess technically those are sort of fertilizers. But that is my favorite potting soil, so that's what I'm using to start the seed. Just going to really fill all of these trays very lightly, and you don't really want to pack the soil too heavily, just very lightly. You just want to make sure you don't have any air pockets. I got a big chunk of soil there, and we'll just fill these like so. Pour your soil out of the bag quite often. It may be on the dry side, and you want to moisten the soil, and you really just want it so that it lightly will clump together. You don't want it dripping wet. You just want it really moistened so that it holds together, you know, in a clump like so. One of the first things that I like to do is I like to create my labels. So with the Lisianthus, there's 50 seeds in each packet. So I think what I'm going to do is put 2 seeds in each cell, and I will be doing 1.5 cells of each color. And then there may be a few seeds left over, and I'll just, maybe some of the cells will have 3 cells. And that you label your seedlings, even though you think you'll remember what you've planted. Sometimes it can be really difficult to identify plants when they're really small. So you always want to create labels. This is a garden marker, and it's really great for creating labels. It's usually water resistant or repellent, and so it will last quite a long time. And I'll just write whatever the name is. So I'll write Lisianthus. Okay, my marker is dry. So we will do 1 tray of the brown, 1.5, and then the black pearl, same thing. We'll do 1/2 of a tray, and then we'll do a full tray. Lisianthus seeds are really tiny seeds, and they're a little bit of a challenge to handle. Because of that, the seed companies will coat them with, I believe this is like a clay coating, and they're known as pelleted seeds. And this obviously allows you to be able to see the seeds and handle the seeds because they are really tiny. One thing to take note of is that pelleted seeds, whether it's Lisianthus or any other type of pelleted seed, does not last long. It doesn't hold the fertility long, so you really need to use them in the current growing season. They're not going to save well from one year to the next. I'm just going to pour all of these out. It's supposed to be 50 seeds here, so we'll see. And which one is this? This is the black pearl. So we'll do the black pearl first. And again, these require light to germinate, so you really just want them on the surface of the soil. And I'm going to place 2 in each tray. The important thing is that the seeds have good contact with the soil. I'm just going to go through here and press them down. I'm not covering them because remember, Lisianthus seeds require light to germinate. And I'm just going to go through and just gently press them down to make sure that the soil, that the seeds are in contact with the soil. And now for the brown Lisianthus. So we have all the seeds planted, and we're just going to gently press down to make sure each seed is in contact with the soil. But being careful not to cover the seeds. With the Lisianthus, they need light to germinate, so you don't want to cover them with soil or any type. I don't even put vermiculite on top of these. Some Some gardeners, when they start their seeds, they'll put vermiculite on top, and I do for some of my seeds, but not the Lisianthus. So these are ready to go. I'm going to put these on the heat mat. They do like a warmer temperature. If you look on the back of the seed pack, it says keep soil evenly moist but not saturated and maintain 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about probably the temperature in your home. Maybe, you know, a little cooler depending on how, you know, how if you keep your home on the warmer side or the cooler side. I tend to keep my home on the cooler side, so I am going to put these on the heat mat. And then once they're on the heat mat, I'm going to cover them with this plastic to help keep the soil moist. And every couple of days, I'm going to check and make sure that the soil is still moist. And if it needs to be water, I will use a mister and just kind of mist the surface of the soil to keep the soil wet. So the Lisianthus are all ready to go. Salpiglossis. And there are, I don't know how many seeds are in this pack, but I'm going to try to just put one seed. I'll see how many seeds there are, but let me see how many are here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to, oh, see, these are small seeds as well. I'm going to only plant up half of this seed tray. So I'm going to do half with the Salpiglossis, and then I think the other, no, I'm going to do the whole thing with the Salpiglossis. So these will be easy. And they're so small. It's not worth the energy to try to figure out how many you have in each cell. I'll probably have to thin these out, potentially. And with these, again, these require darkness to germinate, so I'm just going to put a little bit of soil on top, press them down, and then also I am going to add a little bit of vermiculite. Vermiculite, which is pretty inexpensive. You can buy it at your local garden center or big box store, and you know, a large bag really isn't that much and will last you for quite a long time. And this really helps keep the soil evenly moist, and it also helps prevent some, helps your seedlings from dampening off. So just cover that very lightly. Keep in mind, again, these seeds like darkness to germinate. Will help prevent dampening off. And then what I will do is I will cover this with a piece of plastic. I just have these like little shower caps, and I will cover this like so. And then because this particular seed requires total darkness, I have this old mouse pad, and I'm just going to put that on top to prevent any light. And then I'm going to put these on the heat mat. Happy gardening.